Would you do a shady deal with a terrorist to keep your Formula One team? Well, Williams are known for not always having the most amount of money, so in the 70s, that's exactly what happened. But Formula One is no stranger to sketchy deals, whether it's fake energy drinks, Nigerian princes, or as mentioned earlier, a family known for terrorism to make their money. You see, the Williams team were at rock bottom in the 70s. They didn't have any money whatsoever, and they needed funding to survive. There are stories coming out that the Williams crew and even Frank Williams himself had to sneak into press conferences to get the free buffet food, and there was serious doubt about the survival of the team. So Sir Frank had to go somewhere, try and find some sort of investment. He searched the entire globe until he stumbled across Saudi Arabia in the Middle East. He was lucky enough to be able to secure Saudi Airlines, TAG, and a hotel chain known as Abdelad. Now, obviously, hotel chains are nothing new to Formula One. There's the likes of Hilton sponsoring McLaren and other sort of ones like that. The only thing was that this hotel chain was sponsored by the Bin Laden family. And with Williams, with all that money now, they renamed to the Al Bilad Williams Formula One team. And this crucially helped Williams climb the ladder and win their first Drivers' and Constructors' Championship, all thanks to the funding of Bin Laden's company. But I must add, this was with Mohammed Bin Laden, and not his son. I'm sure we all know who that is. But Mohammed bin Laden was actually responsible for building a lot of the economic wealth in the Middle East, diversifying a lot of their economy. We all know Formula One teams need money. Case in point, the Arrows Formula One team. In the late 90s, they'd never really been a front-runner, despite being in the sport for over 2 decades. So when $125 million was offered to them, they couldn't refuse. But this offer was made by a man known as Malik Edu Ibrahim. Apparently, according to him, he was a member of the Nigerian royal family. And of course, he sent it via an email. Something similar that I'm sure quite a few of us have gotten. Prince Malik proposed that he would start up a sort of phantom brand. It basically meant that he would take third-party products like cars or clothes and slap a label on them known as T-. He would then build his brand incorporating energy drinks, clothes, motorcycles and cars, etc. And he would create this $125 million through the T- company and of course his royal status and telecommunication expertise. And that's how he would make the $125 million easy. And he'd give it to the Arrows team as long as he became the co-owner. But as the season progressed, no money was ever paid by Prince Malik's phantom business. And apparently it had raised zero money. And by the Hungarian Grand Prix, the T- logo had been wiped off all the Arrows cars and led to the Formula One team struggling financially and eventually having to miss some Grand Prix due to unpaid bills and loans. And by the 2002 season, the Arrows Formula One team had to liquidate. As for Malik, he didn't leave motorsport. He then found himself involved in a NASCAR embezzlement case, which followed by him being charged with theft in Texas. But what is he doing now? Well, no one really knows. He apparently still flaunts around with his non-existent energy company called T-. If only Formula One would stop falling for these fake energy drinks. Enter Rich Energy. Now, you all know that Rich Energy is probably one of the most iconic screw-ups in Formula One history. The Haas Formula One team are failing quite a lot financially and are needing investment. They find Rich Energy, who claim to be the top energy drink in the world, saying that they are actually bigger than Red Bull. Although saying this, the head Williams story never seemed to mention that in 2016, only 3 years prior to sponsoring a Formula One team, that the Rich Energy brand only had £500 in its bank account and suddenly went on to sponsoring a Formula One team, famously known to be one of the most expensive sponsorships in the world. Now, I won't go into too much detail as I'm pretty sure you all know the story, but of course they were meant to pay millions and millions of dollars and never ended up paying any of it, leaving the Haas Formula One team in ruin. But what do you think about all the shady Formula One brands? But what about the fake companies that sponsor Formula One? Coming soon.